Hi there, music teacher Kent here. This is part 3 of a video series titled Simple and Effective Jazz Guitar Chord Voicings. If you haven't already seen parts 1 and 2, you may want to go back and check those out. Today we're going to be beginning with a 2-5-1 progression in the key of G, and the chords for that progression are A minor 7, D9, and G major 7. Go ahead and place your pinky on fret 5 of string 2, your third finger on fret 5 of string 3, and your middle finger on fret 5 of string 4. We're only going to use those 3 notes. Some of you may notice that this is a C major triad, and that's correct. The notes C, E, and G are the top 3 notes in a root position A minor 7 chord. Go ahead and lower finger 2 to fret 4. Keep the other 2 fingers in place. Again, we're just going to play 3 notes. This is our rootless D9 chord. And if you'd like a little bit more of an explanation about dominant ninth chords, I do talk about that in the previous video. We're going to go on to the G major 7 chord. Again, we're leaving out the root, playing fret 3 on string 2, fret 4 on string 3, and fret 4 on string 4. And these 3 notes do also form a B minor triad. Again, the notes of a B minor triad are the same as the top 3 notes in a G major 7 chord. Let's hear those 3 chords in sequence. Some of you might be wondering, how can we leave the notes out of the chord and still know that we're playing the chord progression? And some of that has to do with context. Some of that has to do with maybe we're playing in an ensemble that has a bass player playing the chords, but I would say it has more to do with context, and that especially if we're somebody that's been listening to jazz, our ears almost kind of fill in the blanks, you could say. So we don't need every note in a chord to be present to be hearing that quality of the chord. Now we're going to go on to a 2-5-1 progression in the key of C. The chords for this progression are D minor 9, G13, and C major 9. And if you'd like a little bit of an explanation about 9th and 13th chords and the reasons why we use these chord qualities, I do cover that a bit in the previous video. Go ahead and put your first finger at fret 3 on string 4, your third finger on fret 5 of string 3, and your pinky on fret 5 of string 2. We're just going to use these 3 notes. Moving on to the G13. You can keep 2 of the fingers in place and now use finger 2 at fret 4 on string 3. Finger 1 is still at fret 3 on string 4. The pinky is still on fret 5 of string 2. However, we could use finger 3 to play fret 5 on string 2. Let's hear it. This is a rootless G13. And that's a beautiful chord right there. Okay, going on to a rootless C major 9. Your first finger should be at fret 2 on string 4, your third finger at fret 4 on string 3, and your middle finger at fret 3 on string 2. You can use your first finger to dampen string 1 if you need to do that. Let's hear these 3 chords in sequence. And again, part of what makes the rootless voicings effective is the context. We're hearing these 3 chords in a very common chord progression. Okay, I want to show you a little bit more about some of the usefulness of rootless chords. So let's go back to our chord progression in the key of 2-5-1 in the key of G. Okay, let me show you what I just did there. When I got to the D9 chord, instead I played a D7 chord. My first finger's on fret 3 of string 2. And I was able to use that as an opportunity to do a kind of a chord melody thing where I alternated the first note, the top note of the chord, by alternating the top note of the chord between D and E, changing between a D7 and a D9. So we could use something like that in a guitar solo. We could add in some chords to a guitar solo. Also, if we were playing a chord melody arrangement, we could use these voicings. You know, if we know we need to put the 9th in the top of the chord in order to play the melody of the song, these voicings are really useful for that. Okay, now we're going to go to the 2-5-1 in the key of C. And I'm going to show you some more kind of chord melody type of things you can do here. So I'm going to utilize the simple D minor 7. When I say simple, I just mean it's not a 9th. And so I'm barring my first finger here. So the first finger is playing fret 3 on string 4, but it's also playing fret 3 on string 2. The third finger is playing fret 5 on string 3, and then the pinky is going to be available to play the 9th at fret 5 on string 2. I'm alternating between D and E in the top note of the voicing. Now I'm going to go to G13, but I'm going to be able to do the same thing on the G13 chord. I can release finger 3, and then I can use finger 1 to bar, and fret 3 of string 2 is the note D, which is the 5th of the chord. So I could alternate between the 5th and the 13th. And if I were to go through the chord progression utilizing some kind of effect like that, so we could use voicings like this to make our solos more interesting. We could put some chords into our solos, and it also sets us up well for creating chord melody arrangements of tunes that we like. So thanks for tuning in today. I'll likely be making a part 4 of this series where I include string 1, and I show you more of the possibilities for what we can do with these rootless voicings. Have a great day.